death of creativity. Not just artistic creativity, but the very essence of personal expression. It's the death of your unique way of moving through the world, your individual way of seeing, your authentic way of being. I remember watching a master sculptor work with clay. His hands moved with freedom, with purpose, with personal truth. Then I watched his students, each copying his exact movements, trying to replicate his art piece by piece. They didn't understand. The master's greatness wasn't in his technique. It was in his freedom to express his own truth. This is what happens in martial arts schools across the world. Students learn forms, sequences, patterns. They become perfect photocopies of their masters. But in perfecting the copy, they kill something precious, their own expression. They follow without questioning, repeat without understanding, perform without living. The death of creativity begins with the poison of limited thinking. This is how it's always been done. These are the rules. Stay within the lines. Each of these thoughts is a chain, binding your spirit, restricting your movement, imprisoning your expression. You become so focused on doing things right that you forget to do them truthfully. I've seen talented fighters reduce themselves to mere technicians. They know all the moves, all the counters, all the combinations, but they've lost the ability to flow, to adapt, to create in the moment. They've traded the living art expression for the dead certainty of repetition. Your creativity dies when you start believing that there's only one right way to do things. It dies when you value perfection over authenticity.
Many of these scholars and authors can be adored of your Jannah. I encourage you to use your wealth.
Look at the faces you pass every day on the streets. Look in the eyes of your colleagues, your friends, your family. Do you see it? Do you see the walking dead among us? I do. And it terrifies me more than any opponent I've ever faced. They breathe. Their hearts beat. They wake up each morning, go to work, come home, sleep and repeat.
An organization.
Long ago. Most people die at 25, my friend, but aren't buried until they're 75. You think I speak of some mystical concept? No. I speak of something I witness every day. Something that breaks my heart as a teacher, as a philosopher, as a human being. I speak of the death that occurs when a human being stops truly living. I've seen it happen. The moment is almost visible. That instant when the light leaves their eyes. Not from physical death, no. This is the moment they accept limitations as truth. The moment they trade their dreams for what others call security. The moment they stop growing and start existing. This death is silent. It doesn't come with certificates or ceremonies. It creeps in through comfort, through routine, through the quiet acceptance of that's just how things are. It comes the day you stop questioning, stop growing, stop pushing against your boundaries. But here's what pains me most. This death is a choice made not in one dramatic moment, but in 1,000 small surrenders. A dream postponed here, a risk not taken there, a passion labelled impractical, a goal dismissed as unrealistic. And so they die at 25, these walking dead. Their bodies continue, but their spirits lie quiet in the grave of what could have been. For 50 years they sleepwalk through life, waiting only for the body to catch up with what has already died inside. But my friend, I'm not here to simply paint this tragic picture. I'm here because I've also seen the resurrection. I've witnessed people awaken from this death. And that is what I want to share with you. Because while most people may die at 25, you don't have to be most people. Let me tell you about a student who came to my school last year. A talented young man, physically strong, technically skilled, but something was missing. When I asked him to explore a new movement, to find his own way of expressing it, he froze. Just show me the right way, he said. I'll copy it perfectly. This, my friend, is mental death in action. You see, mental death isn't an event, it's a process. A slow surrender that typically culminates around age 25. Why 25? Because this is when society expects you to grow up, to be realistic, to settle down. This is when most people trade their dreams for what others call security. Watch a child learn. They don't worry about looking foolish. They fall, they laugh, they get up, they try again. In my years of teaching, I've seen 3-year-olds attempt moves that adults hesitate to try. Not because the adults can't do them, but because somewhere along the way, they learned to fear failure more than they desire growth. I remember training with my son Brandon when he was small. He'd ask why 1,000 times. Why do we stand this way? Why do we breathe like this? Why? Each question opened a new door. Each answer led to more questions. This is the natural state of the human mind. Endless curiosity, boundless exploration. But then something happens. Society begins its work. Stop asking so many questions. That's just how it is. Practical. Be realistic. Each of these phrases is a nail in the coffin of mental vitality. Each time we accept them, we die a little more inside. I've seen this transformation in my school countless times. Students come in full of questions, full of desire to learn. But when I push them beyond their comfort zone, when I ask them to think for themselves, to explore their own expression, many retreat to the safety of imitation. Just tell me what to do, they say. This is the moment of choice, the pivotal point between growth and death. But here's what I've learned through my own journey. Falling down 7 times and getting up 8 isn't just about physical resilience. It's about mental resurrection. Each time you choose to get up, to question again, to explore again, to risk again, you choose life over death. I had a student once failed his first public demonstration, completely froze. The old way of thinking would say, you're not cut out for this. But he came back the next day, and the next. 7 times he failed publicly. On the 8th attempt, something had changed. Not just his performance, his entire being. He had learned that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. This is what I mean by mental death versus mental life. It's not about intelligence or education. It's about your relationship with growth itself. Are you still willing to be a beginner? Are you still willing to look foolish in pursuit of growth? Are you still willing to get up that 8th time? The first sign of mental death is perhaps the most subtle yet the most devastating. The death of curiosity. It begins so quietly, you might not even notice it happening. Like a candle slowly burning out. Not in a gust of wind, but in the stillness of stale air. I see it in the eyes of accomplished martial artists who come to my school. I already know this, their eyes say, even before they begin. 20 years of training, and they wear their knowledge like armor, not to grow stronger, but to prevent anything new from getting in. They have answers for everything, but they've forgotten how to question. Let me share something profound I've observed. The most dangerous words in any language are "I know." Not because knowledge is dangerous, but because the illusion of complete knowledge is fatal to growth. When you say, "I know," what you're really saying is, "I've stopped looking." When you say, "I understand," without deep questioning, what you're really saying is, "I've stopped exploring."
If you've ever wondered how you and I can be any good for just $149, consider that we don't spend millions of dollars sponsoring sports teams. We don't spend millions of dollars on celebrities and crazy stunts. And instead of spending hundreds of millions a year,
Think about how a child approaches a butterfly. First time seeing one, they're full of questions. Why does it fly like that? How does it know which flower to choose? Why do its wings have those colors? Each question opens a door to wonder, each answer leads to 3 more questions. This is the living mind, the fertile soil where growth flourishes. But somewhere along the way, we start answering without questioning. We start nodding without wondering. We start accepting without understanding. That's just how it is, becomes our mantra. Each time we say this,